You Oceana Shades better not get everything wet.
Have you seen, Commander? Lord Charon's come to visit us. At last our supply lines are secure, and our counter-assault begins.
Yeah. It's been quite some time since good Lord Charon visited us last. We'd better all be on our best behavior around him. But, where'd you get all that supply line stuff?
Why, he told me himself, sir. In his way.
Oh.
The Princess of the Underworld now holds the key to the once warded gateway leading all the way up to the surface of this world. But how is she to fare in that forbidden realm?
We'll find out. To the surface.
What are you doing on the surface, young lady? How shall you survive? Surely you know your line is bound beneath the earth. Your strength is better spent against our foes down there.
As the ill-fated princess feels her life force fade with every breath of surface air, her sole recourse is to return whence she came.
What?
What are you doing on this side? You lose your way? Thought you had business in the underworld, not here. Mayhap I'm just a bit out of the loop, is all. You need this stuff or not?
Won't open. Ow! Return to Shadow now.
Just a moment. You travel to the surface, knowing full well the fates decided long ago that those of your line could not survive there and would always be forced back to the underworld.
The curse was palpable. I never intended to stay for long, just long enough to lend my relatives support. But it seems your sisters insist that I do no such thing.
Well, I don't see them around right now, do you? Incidentally, there was once an incantation that I happened upon, which was not intended for my eyes. But I now choose to think that it was intended for yours. Farewell.
Unraveling a fateful bond. I couldn't breathe. The way you can breathe out of water, so too could I breathe the surface air.
Heading out?
Thank you for visiting me last night, Lord Moros. So, hypothetically, if I were to complete a certain incantation that somehow loosened the grip the three fates have on my birthright, how angry would they be?
Please understand, Princess, that I am not at liberty to give advice on matters such as that, not even hypothetically. I trust I've been sufficiently direct in putting it this way?
In other words, we shouldn't be talking about this at all, and I assume all risk for my actions related to any potentially forbidden incantations that I've learned.
Yes, that covers it.
No prophecies about me on the surface, so they don't know, or know I won't succeed.
Good morrow. You visited the surface. I can't imagine that played out particularly well. At least you made it back at all.
It was draining. Even at night, something about being under the stars, I didn't know there were so many. It was more than I could take. You were right.
A lesson learned and an experience gained. The Fates themselves do not want you up there. What shall you do?
I have an incantation to complete. I don't need to stay forever on the surface. I just need to hold on long enough to make it to Olympus.
Ah, then you seek to improve this aspect of yourself without rejecting it outright. I see how that may work.
It has to. Can I suppress my illness on the surface?
You're up. The Good Witch always figured you would make your way up to the mortal realm. Once you were ready and the situation called for it. Well done.
She warded the pathway there, until such time as I had the means to pass through. But the climate on the surface is another matter.
Your underworld birthright stuff getting in the way? A curse, not just a blessing, it would seem. Well, if your witchery got you this far, surely it can aid with this predicament.
That's the plan.
Blade.
Does Headmistress know yet of your little excursions? Not much escapes her notice last I checked.
Strongly advise you mind your own responsibilities. Hecate doesn't control me, and you should show a little gratitude.
For what? Endangering us all? I didn't ask for your assistance, Nemesis.
Because you're weak.
The unhappy goddess of comeuppance casts her judging gaze on all within the crossroads, which she safeguards out of duty and of spite.
Don't want to get on Nem's bad side.
Whatever.
Appreciate the deal. Much deeper than it looks. The rod of fishing. What shall the rivers yield to us?
May not a single fish elude that thing.
Sure. Revol, the Argent Skull. I know the fury in your hollowed eyes.
That creepy artifact is yours, kiddo. Get over here, young one. You're brave to venture through that previously warded gateway, but come on! You underworld types aren't cut out for surface life. Unless perchance there is an incantation that could help.
I think there is, Commander. Except, it calls for reagents that can only be found up there. But how am I supposed to gather them before the incantation is complete?
Mayhaps just make a run for it, I don't know. So what if you can't stay long? Just grab what you need and get out of there.
It's not ideal, but... Which cards reflect my path?